And we are live. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's good to see you all here. Thank you for joining. If you haven't already, please just do hit the like button and share so we can get the audience here. Hey PJ Cruikshank, thank you for being here. Hey Arwen, glad to see you. Alan Nordstrand, thank you for coming. And yeah, everybody else that's there in the intervals. I just want to give a great shout out to all the Patreon members of the show and also to all the YouTube members. Thank you all very much for supporting this channel. And also already a huge shout out. I got a super chat from Michael Khan before the show even started. So thank you very much, Michael Khan. Dan is up there as one of the dumbest ball-tards. He has no science behind him, just a script. What a moron. Yep, that kind of sums it out. But anyway, it's good to see you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Very retro. Yeah, it is quite retro. Again, shout out to Mr. Adam Meekin for actually helping me create this look, the branding and everything. Thank you all for coming. Now I see my phone is just out of focusing me the whole time for some reason. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Tonight's poll goes about Scimandan. I'll simply, let's put out of 20 votes, Scimandan, is he scripted? Yes, 90% and no 10%. The reason I say this is because he is actually scripted. That's the whole reason he doesn't actually debate anybody, or so-called flat earthers, because if he had to debate, he would show he doesn't know anything, because he's very ignorant. And you're going to see that tonight. Recently, Scimandan brought out a video about me for, yeah, it was Friday now, Flat Earth Fridays. I feel very honored. Thank you, Scimandan, for showing me to your audience. Unfortunately, audience is as dumb as you are, thinking you actually brought anything. Well, I thought we can go through that and actually just show everybody that you don't actually have any argument other than making straw man arguments and misrepresenting people. That's about it. Owen, the problem is that Scimandan is very bad at his improvisation with said script, and easily gets himself in over his head intellectually, barely able to get himself out of it. Exactly, because if he doesn't know how the actual argument works without his script, if he had to go deviate from that script, he would not actually be able to defend it. This is the same problem Professor Dave has. Okay, not a Professor Dave, because he actually gets his script written for him. That's why he runs to people to write his script for him. But we'll get to that later on this stream. Yeah, let's move on to, if you guys are ready, I think we can move on to the video. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. Let's get going. Let's make sure it's showing. Yes, it is showing. Okay, guys. This is Scimandan, the most ridiculous response you will ever see from a flat earther.
Right, back to today's video, which, as I said at the start, is a flat earther's attempt at debunking Professor Dave. The flat earther in question is Flatzoid. Now, you may remember him from Flat Earth Fail 31, where he said he was going to make me look like an ignoramus. Of course, he did not. And
that's usually what flat earth, well, Scimandan does. He just makes a declaration and it's so, guys. I definitely showed you to be an ignoramus because you said we cannot show relative density. I explained it to you very simply, but it's fine. We're going to go through it again tonight. Just because you say I did not doesn't make it so. It just means you're ignoring the evidence. Simply as that. Okay, let's go on.
Well, he sat down to try and debunk Professor Dave's video, the 10 things that all flat earthers say, that has amassed a whopping 5.7 million views.
Wow. Because it's got so much views, it's now brilliant, guys. No, it's because it's pushed to a lot more people, because he's got a wider audience to watch it, because he doesn't get shadow banned and censored like the rest of us. All happiness to him for having that big audience. I do not have anything against that. It just sucks that he has to try and debunk the wrong flat earth. You know, the same issue you guys have. You attack a flat earth narrative based on controlled opposition, not the actual flat earth, that is your problem. But yeah, let's just carry on, guys. This is gonna get really intense, I must say.
Given Flatzoid's immense ego and his Dunning-Kruger lifestyle, then this should be good. Away we go.
Okay. Immense ego and Dunning-Kruger lifestyle. I don't know where he gets that from, but thank you, Dan. It must be projection, probably. Okay, so this is one I did, and I think this was actually part 2, by the way, not part 1. So it was already in context to know what the hell's going on. Just pointing that out.
Yeah. Everyone, so some of you may be aware of my recent foray into the Flat Earth community, most notably with this lengthy response to the Globe Busters. For about 2 months now, the comments section of that video has been a consistent hotbed of activity, with hundreds of Flat Earthers stopping by to share their opinions.
Wow, hundreds of flat earthers. Probably a lot of them are just sock accounts created to make it look that way, but yeah.
Now, it seems Flatzoid is not a fan of the Flat Earth community as a whole.
Why would you put that in my mouth? I never said that. I just said it's so possible you guys create sock accounts to try and make flat earthers look stupid. You know, like the sock accounts you guys have trolling flat earth channels like mine? Yeah. We do know a lot of you have multiple channels, if you haven't noticed that. We're not blind.
Oh dear.
For people who claim that globe-tards just repeat what they were told in school, you guys sure do all say the exact same things.
Oh, like you. Coming in, yeah. And yeah, globe cards.
What even was that, Flatzoid?
What was that? Simply, globetard means you guys regurgitate exactly the same parrot nonsense, like gravity is a force, even though gravity is not a force, even in your model. That's why you do know that you guys are saying the exact same things while contradicting your own religious model. Yes, that's why I said it. When it comes to the flat earth side, let's say like gas pressure without a container, how can we be parroting when it's a fact you require containment to have gas pressure? It's a fact. There's only so many ways you can say the argument.
Why even pause it there?
And I don't just mean the same arguments, I mean the same things word for word, like they were copied and pasted from some manifesto.
That is actually very true.
Really? Can you please provide us with this? Can you show us this, not a Professor Dave, or maybe even you, Scimandan? Provide us where this manifesto is pasted word for word, because it certainly does not come from the actual flat earthers, that's for sure.
It's a bit difficult to change something. Gas pressure requires a containment. It's an antecedent.
Which is exactly what Nathan Oakley would say, so point proven.
Nathan Oakley says it, I say it, QE says it, every flat earther says, heck, every physicist on Earth would say gas pressure requires containment. That's because that's what gas pressure is. It's not parroting, it's literally saying the fact gas pressure requires containment. How else can you say it? That's what it is.
Let's try and restructure that in another sentence. Without containment, you cannot have gas pressure.
So what's going on with the actual air around you then, Flatzoid? Because that's pressurized.
Do you know you just... Guys, this is what I'm saying. He comes with his ignorance already. He's saying the atmo is pressurized, guys. What is pressure again, Mr. Scimandan? Isn't pressure the force exerted on a container wall, Mr. Scimandan? Hey Jolly Man, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Hey Robkin, good to see you. Iron Horse, thank you for being... PJ Cruchang, thank you for the super chat. £5. If it is scripted, he's a crap actor. Hey Kevlar, good to see you. And into the break, thank you for coming. Yeah, I have to admit, he is kind of a bad actor. Out of 47 votes, Scimandan is scripted. 77% say yes, 23% say no. Two Wolves, good to see you too. Thank you for coming. And Adam Meekin, what? Without the container, there can be no pressure. Conspiracy Cats 2019. Yeah, remember, Conspiracy Cats actually ran away from this in our debate. There's a reason for that. Okay. Oh man, that's funny. Let's see if we can actually see what gas Okay, no, we'll get to that. Okay. This is so funny. So let's get to it. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Okay, it's showing.
Isn't it?
Another way, gas pressure, antecedent, container. You see, they're structured differently, but they have the same argument.
And one which has been debunked several times.
Where has it been debunked several times? Scimandan, this is a challenge to you. Show us where this has been debunked several times, because as far as I know, even on my channel, I have asked this for quite a few years now. Where's the demonstration for gas pressure not requiring containment? Every flat earther has asked this, and we have not yet even had any other explanation other than gravity. But you cannot demonstrate it. So please tell me where it's been debunked. Just because you say your religious belief of gravity, that's not even a force, so it throws away F equals ma, so therefore no acceleration to do anything to the gas. You understand the issue here, Scimandan, but I do understand you don't actually have any scientific logic based in that noggin of yours. It's all scripted, remember.
Yet you still parrot it.
This is how we can tell Dave is not up all yeah. So he thinks everybody having different structure of the same argument means they're all parroting the same thing. This is him going against the actual argument and obfuscating and doing strawman and red herring fallacies to, not actually rebut their argument.
What are you even blabbering on about? This is just his intro. He's yet to get to the 10 things.
Like I said in the beginning, I think this was from part 2, which he does only do strawmans and fallacies, guys. Red herrings. If you guys haven't already watched, I'll stick after the show, I will stick the 2 part series in the chat, in the description box if you haven't watched it, because there's 2, part 1 and part 2, where we totally rip Not a Professor Dave apart. Unfortunately, Scimandan is trying to defend him and going down exactly the same road. Yes, it's a straw man. As simple as that. Because you guys are obfuscating from the actual argument. And again, challenge, remember? Demonstrate where gravity can do anything. Show us where gravity can hold gas without containment. Oh, and please don't do like Blue Marble Science, where he brought 3 containers in to demonstrate gas pressure without a containment. Just have to point it out.
This is why I say someone like this guy will not come and debate someone like me or anyone else, really for that matter, because he would get totally obliterated, because this guy is just fallacy king.
You obviously haven't seen his debate with David Weiss of DITRH, because that was an obliteration, just not in the way that you think.
Is that so? Guys, I have something to show you guys. This was on the after show with Mac2. Listen to these words, guys. Just listen to this. This is from a so-called Professor Dave. Remember, he's not actually Professor, but he's apparently obliterated David Weiss. You guys want to know the reason? Well, it's not actually, but listen to this.
And that's why, like, Durf thought that he could catch out Professor Dave, right? But luckily for us, Professor Dave watches all my fucking debates and came to me and asked me to prepare him for that debate. So Professor Dave went there knowing exactly what Durf was going to say. And used the knowledge that I gave him, plus the amazing way that he has of explaining things, to destroy Durf in a better way than any of us have ever done. Like, it was.
He did make a couple of cock-ups, though, did Professor Dave, in that.
So, guys, Professor Dave He's even scripted. Yes, thank you for showing that to us. Professor Dave is scripted even. Hey Godzilla37, thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. Godzilla, thank you for being a member. Wow, that's awesome. You really rock, dude. And yes, pressure gradient, you nugget. Pressure gradient is the delta after. Sorry, pressure gradient comes after pressure. Pressure cannot exist without the antecedent of a container. That's what pressure is. It's the force exerted on the container wall, on the surface of the container wall. Remember, it's surface area. You require a surface to have surface area pressure. Very simple stuff. Yeah, so thank you for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. So I'm glad to see the members are growing. Thank you very, very much. Hey, Tony Whitcomb, thank you for coming. You rock. We really do appreciate your support. So yeah, guys, what are we seeing so far? FDFE just showed Professor Dave is scripted and doesn't actually know how to argument. So they have to actually work together to create scripts to debunk. This is the same issue they had with Cats, and that's the reason why he was so triggered with me and he could not stick to his usual calm self, because he was not expecting me to say in the ways I did. But anyway, yeah. Let's get back to this video. Oh man, hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am.
This is because you all watch the same ridiculous YouTube videos made by the same handful of con men, and you all quote.
I like how he pronounces everyone as conman. I wonder if I'm part of that.
No, I don't think you are. I think you just parrot the con men.
I don't parrot any con men. And who's the con man you're actually referring to, Mr. Scimandan, and not a Professor Dave? Because that is quite a bold claim to make. Because we can easily say you guys are con men, because you are like FDFE just actually set out to everybody. They had to help him give his argument to debate David Weiss. Ouch. Now why would a so-called professor, which is not actually a professor, need FDFE's help from all people? I mean, really. Yeah, Professor Dave, you can actually come and debate an actual person that knows the arguments, that doesn't use the models based on the Flat Earth Society, and we can actually have a proper debate. You know, yeah, even you, Scimandan, I've even asked you, but then again, yeah, you don't debate Flat Earthers. Why is that? Oh, we know. Because you can't debate. You don't actually have the intelligence to debate an actual Flat Earther. That's the issue. So it's not that you don't debate Flat Earthers, there's no reason. It's because you're too dumb. That's about it.
Them verbatim without applying a shred of critical thinking. So now that I am intimately...
Without a shred of critical thinking. That's all the Flat Earth is, guys. It's critical thinking. It means we do not just take consensus, we actually go and have logical thinking. We critical think. Hence why we don't believe in the globe. Hence why we can prove the globe is not true. Because it goes against critical thinking. It goes against reality.
As I said, everyone, Dunning-Kruger.
What rebuttal was that, Daniel? I just told you the reason we are the logical thinkers is because we are not just following what we are conditioned to think. You are indoctrinated to believe the globe and everything about it, faith-based religion. We have found it to be false. Therefore, we are the logical thinkers because we are showing it wrong and giving you guys the reason why. If you are just following blindly, you are the illogical thinkers. That's how it works. Think of it this way. You have two sheeps going to the slaughterhouse and to the slaughter. There's two paths. The whole group, well, let's just say it's 10. You see the group is following to the right, going to the slaughterhouse, and the one says, hold on, I'm not going that way. It just looks fishy. I'm going the other way. The other sheep says, well, why aren't you following the rest of us? Aren't all of us correct? Who's the logical thinker here?
familiar with your greatest hits, I just had to make one more video so that I could share the 10 things that all flat earthers say.
Okay, this was part 1. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah. Anyway, if you actually watch it, you'll see it is all just fallacies and red herrings, strawmans, obfuscation. You know the usual tactics.
Okay, so we got it. You guys ready? The 10 things that all flat earthers say.
If you're a regular person and you haven't seen my other 2 flat earth videos, you may want to check those out first for a little bit of...
I like how it says if you're a regular person, as if us flat earthers are not regular people. No, we definitely are normal people. We just have the ability to think for ourselves. We don't go, glob, glob, you know?
Ah, yes, the sheep insult. Another thing that you all parrot.
Again, you see, guys, this is the problem with Scimandan. He doesn't actually have a response to the arguments. He literally just says one line is up. See, Dunning-Kruger. Or, you're just parroting. That is Scimandan, guys. That's it so far. Before we carry on, let's go see what's going on in the chats. Thank you all for coming again. Really do appreciate you being here. Let's see what the toll is saying. Out of 60 votes, Scimandan is scripted. 80% say yes, 20% say no. Are we ever going to get any rebuttal from Scimandan, guys? So far, I don't really think we're going to get any rebuttal, but this really is really odd that I think people actually think they got arguments. Because remember, what am I showing you? We give an argument, and he just gives a one-liner like parroting or Dunning-Kruger, and that's somehow a debunk of the argument. Is that logical, or is that just stupid?
Of context. But if you're a flat earther yourself, don't bother. I'll be speaking directly to you throughout this video. Let's begin.
Guys, you hear that? He's going to be directly speaking to us throughout this video, but what has he been talking about? He's been talking about us, not directly to us, this whole video so far, and it's been a minute. Okay, just over a minute, and he wasn't talking directly to us. He was actually talking against us, about us. Does that actually show he's very intelligent, people?
Flatzoid, he did his intro and then he said he'll be addressing just you. What's hard to understand about that?
No, he literally said every flat earther. He even said normal flat earthers or whatever that's supposed to mean. Aren't you paying attention, Daniel? Pay attention. Okay, let's see what he's going to say, guys.
Number one extremely problematic side effect of taking the globe and flattening it out into a plane is that gravity makes no sense, and there is no reason for things to fall to the ground.
Sorry, flat earthers never ever say that.
No, they don't, because otherwise they'd be arguing with themselves. He's addressing gravity. Give him a chance.
Scimandan, same issue Dave had. Gravity is for the globe. It's not for the flat earth. Why do you bring gravity, the issues of gravity, to flat earth? Two different models, you understand? Let's say this is the globe model, this is the flat earth. This one has the bullshit gravity. This one doesn't require gravity, it's got nothing to do with it. This one is reality, the one you are trying to debunk. Why are you putting this one's gravity to this? The problems you have on your globe has got nothing to do with the flat earth. Do you see the issue? Why do we have to fix the problems you have on the globe just because we call flat earth? Wow. That is sad, guys. This is why I said it's just straw man and red herring fallacies, that's all.
The globe comes from the flat plane, not the flat plane comes from the globe, Dave. So sorry to tell this to you, but you actually have no fucking clue. Already, guys, who is showing dishonesty here? He is. He's making up an argument. He's doing a straw man that doesn't even exist.
Do you believe in gravity, Flatzoid? No, you don't. So this argument is a valid one.
No, it's not a valid one. Again, gravity is for the globe. You're supposed to be debunking the flat earth. gravity has nothing to do with the flat earth. Do you get the issue now, Daniel? I mean, it's like going to a Porsche shop and saying, I bought this trolley from ShopRite and it's not working like your Porsche, so therefore your Porsche is rubbish. Do you see the issue?
Isn't it? It does exist.
So that's very sad.
I know, gravity doesn't exist.
So he's making an argument that doesn't exist. So that's really, really sad. How can I put this to you? Gravity doesn't exist, not Professor Dave.
Point proven.
Again, he's one-liner. Point proven. What point is proven? What point is proven, Daniel? You didn't actually make a point to prove.
The flat plane comes first and then the globe. So don't come and say, we say if you take the globe and flatten it out, then gravity has problems. No. This is a globe strawman argument. Nothing to do with flat Earth, by the way.
Well, it is, because without gravity, how do flat earthers explain how things fall?
Very simple. Relative density disequilibrium. We've explained this how many times? Again, gravity has nothing to do with flat Earth. And the thing, because things fall, doesn't mean we have to replace gravity on your globe. They're two separate things. Are you not getting it? Maybe concentrate on trying to prove gravity, or first try and figure out what gravity is in the first instance before you try and tell us to replace it or explain against it. Again, globe separate, flat Earth separate. You getting this yet?
It has everything to do with you, Flatzoid.
Objects accelerate towards the ground at 9.8 meters per second squared. That's an indisputable fact.
Yes, and it's indisputable fact that we can prove its relative density disequilibrium.
Oh my days, not this rubbish again. Flatzoid, you cannot prove that. You just can't.
Can't we prove that? Okay guys, let's move to another video. I actually went and did a demonstration, Mr. Scimandan. This is a demonstration where I actually explain it in very simple terms. You know, we can actually do demonstrations. Can you do demonstrations? No. So please, and actually listen. See, this is just a normal flask, well, container, plastic container with some water, tap water, so normal H2O. This is a plastic block, okay? I'm just gonna first empty it out because I put some money in there, some coins, so it can give it some weight. This block has density to it. What happens when I put this block into water? One of them has to be less dense. What do you know? It floats. So this plastic block is less dense than the water it's in. Obviously, you can also say, okay, even if it's a bit denser, it's maybe displacing the water around it, and that's why it's floating. Hi, PJ Crushing, thank you for coming. Really do appreciate you. Shout out,
coming in.
PJ.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you all my members. It's good to see some members here. Great, and please, if you haven't already, just hit that like button and share. Well, anyway, so you see, it is less dense than the medium it is surrounded in. More dense than the air. So the air cannot support it, so that's why it drops, and it's less dense than the water, so the water can support it. What happens now if I'm going to make this object denser? You ask me now, how are you going to make it denser? Because density is already set, it's per cube. Exactly, but you can make the system denser than the medium. So you're adding more weight.
Remember,
you're putting
keyword,
more mass
guys.
into the system.
Keyword, system.
I'm opening it.
System, guys, is the keyword.
I'm opening it, you see? I'm going to be adding the coins. This gives it more weight. I'm making the object, the system, denser. Remember, it floated a few seconds ago. What happens now? It's still denser than the air, so it's going to fall still, and now it's going to be denser than the water. Oh, is the water able to support it now?
No, because the water is now less denser than the object. Remember, the density per cube is still the same, but the system is now denser. This is why I was explaining, when you put something of more substance together in the system, you make the system denser. And I think that's made it very clear, don't you guys understand? Remember, it cannot displace the water anymore, because that's how Archimedes' principle works. And no, it does not require gravity, even though it's in the equation. Gravity is not a force. It's simply the displacement. So if the pressure is greater than the system, let's say aka like a ship on the water, the water is creating a larger pressure to the boat. Because of the displacement, it can support it. If the boat now cannot be supported by that displacement, it is hence giving more pressure than the water, because it cannot displace it enough, it will sink. And that's how it works. I hope you guys are really understanding. Another member, Skeptic936, thank you very much for becoming a channel member. You rock, dude. You are awesome. Cosmic Surfer, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Simon is standing there. What? Slyman, the steely Dan is very dense, but he will float in his stupidity. Yeah, good one. Thank you, Skeptic936, for being here. Thank you for becoming a member. Wow, guys, it's good to see the member list growing so well. You rock. And a super chat, $10. Simon in my hair is my hero. Oh man, Simon is my hero. Glad he's someone's hero, dude. You guys really rock. Thank you again for the super chat. Thank you for your membership. You guys are awesome. Oh wow, are you guys enjoying this? I really hope you are, because I'm enjoying this really well. I think let's get back to the actual video again. Oh man. Okay, let's see what he has further to say.
And I believe in the process of trying to prove that, you will discover that there is an intrinsic down direction which can only be described as gravity.
No, I just explained to you, it's not gravity. What is gravity? Remember, you guys don't understand that gravity is not a force. It hasn't been seen as a force for over 7-8 years already. And now even Einstein is being shown wrong now, hence why they're pushing entropic gravity. And I have to tell you guys, entropic gravity is more of a validation for relative density disequilibrium than actual gravity, because it's entropic pressure. Yeah, it's pressure based.
Weird, because this apple is denser than the air around it. It cannot support it, so it has to. That, by the way, is just an accumulation of different data points that gives that. So it's an approximation.
You can literally figure out the 9.8 meters per second squared on your own, buddy. So no, it's not an approximation.
Okay, guys. Thank you for showing your ignorance once again. Guys, he says gravity acceleration is not approximation. What is the proximate value and direction of gravity? Near Earth's surface, the gravity acceleration is approximately 9.8 meters squared. What did you just say, Mr. Dan? It's not an approximation? But what does that say? Oh no, what is wrong? Something's not right here. Is the so-called scientific brilliance of Scimandan overthrowing his own religion, guys? It's an approximation, Daniel. I suggest you actually go and learn your religion if you want to, defend it. Okay. On we go.
Also, if the air around the apple is less dense than it, words are important, Flatzoid, you said around, why doesn't the apple go up or sideways? The air above and to the side of it is less dense than it as well. I'll tell you why. Because there is an intrinsic down direction. Gravity.
No, just because you make a claim it is. Can you please demonstrate to us gravity? And also, you guys love to claim gravity as scientifically validated. Then why is it so that it keeps changing? First a force, not a force, now entropic. Yeah, no, it's never been science to begin with, and easy, there's a reason why it does not go up. Let's take this. I'm just making sure it looks big. Okay, I have this charge apron here. Very simple stuff. I'm gonna say it's here. Okay, let's just say this is the ground. I pick it up, Scimandan. What has happened now? I have put potential energy into this system. In other words, it's keeping to the first law of thermodynamics. I am not creating or destroying the energy. I'm transferring it to this charger. Now, if I have to change its altitude further up, it's got more potential energy. Why? Because it has a further distance to travel, because I lifted it up further away from its equilibrium point, relative equilibrium point. Okay, so reason it will not go up is because if I have placed this amount of energy, why would you expect it to go up? It took energy to lift it up. You are saying then it should create more energy to carry on going up when you let it go. That's not how reality works. I lift it up, I put energy into the system. The air around it has not got enough pressure to support it. Hence why it drops, it sinks, it falls. Not because of gravity, because the pressure of this is greater than the pressure of the medium surrounding it. It cannot displace the medium enough to be able to be supported. That's why. And no, potential energy does not require gravity because you put it into the equation. The equation is describing the relationship. It describes the pressure mediation as the gravitational constant. Simple as that. And again, what I said before, globe model, gravity. Flat Earth, no gravity. Why are you trying to push gravity onto flat Earth? That's illogical and idiotic. Thank you Into the Break for a whole $10 US super chat. Thank you very, very much, dude. You really are awesome. Judging by the second definition of professor, a person who affirms a faith in the allegiance to something, Professor Dave really is a professor professing their faith. Yeah, he should actually call himself Pastor Globe Dave. Yeah, because that's all they actually are. They're just a priest. He can be called Priest Dave, Globe Priest Dave. And Daniel can do the same thing, because like we showed before, if you guys missed it, Fight the Flat Earth literally said, for not a Professor Dave, he scripted him. He had to help him with the arguments for the debate against Dave Weiss. So Dave Weiss, you were against the whole team there, guys, dude. So yeah, really weird when a so-called professor cannot hold his own ground. So Professor Dave, not a Professor Dave, or even Scimandan, again, a challenge from me to you. Come and debate me on my channel. I'll do it on your channel. We can go to any platform you choose. It does not bother me. Just come and debate someone that actually can show you to be ignorant, like I'm doing here. Be a man. Prove your status. Yeah, okay, let's go on. Skeptic936 with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Professor Dave is a talking bot. He is a talking bot because he's scripted. That's what talking bots do. They just talk to about their script. Oh man, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay, thank you guys again. If you haven't already, just hit that like button and share so we can get it out to a wider audience. Let's get back onto embarrassing Daniel.
And it is also an indisputable fact that any acceleration requires a force.
Yeah, any acceleration requires a force. Like I said, F equals ma. Gravity doesn't have any force, so there's no F equals ma to gravity.
Don't even try to teach them this, Dave. They won't get it.
Ah, yes. Any needles? You guys heard that? Any acceleration requires a force. Last time I heard gravity is not a force. So you just debunked yourself, so-called Professor Dave. Relative density of this equilibrium has a force attributed to it. Unlike your gravity, it's not a force.
Okay, yes, technically it is not a classical force, but the mechanisms that cause...
But F equals ma is classical... Is it not? As far as I know, F equals ma is classical physics. So if it's not a classical force, how can you attribute classical physics to not a classical force? Oh boy.
Gravity means that it acts very much like a force. So, for want of a...
So you're saying it's a fictitious force. You do know a fictitious force requires an actual force. Like a merry-go-round, it requires a force for that merry-go-round to move to have the fictitious force like centrifugal forces. This is Physics 101, Mr. Scimandan, that's showing no actual physics understanding or any science for that matter, or any logic, or even been able to give any rebuttal to anything here. So what have you actually been showing this whole video, Dan, other than you don't actually know anything?
Better word, force is fine.
How do you have acceleration again without a force?
You can't.
To produce it. This is how cars drive, planes fly, people walk, cats jump. It's how literally all motion works. Even charlatans like the globe busters accept at least this much, which is why they go off on their rants about magnetic magic.
Look at old Professor Dave there, watching old Muggins here on his next up videos.
I like how you try to obfuscate from the actual argument. And yes, the reason they push this is because they're trying to prove their belief in the ether and dielectric acceleration because they are too dumb to understand things go up. Yeah, we've totally ripped them apart with this, but they just don't seem to understand because they are as dumb as you.
Thanks, Dave.
They say electrostatic. In other words, the higher you go up, it changes at 100 volts. So this gives the potential to give their down bias. This is why I don't agree with them that much. They are pushing it that it's sort of like replacing gravity, in other words, just giving it another name. That's why I don't agree with their dielectrics rubbish.
Flat earthers all arguing about different things is one of the main reasons why none of it is true.
So you just debunked your old statement that we are not logical thinkers. The fact we all have different opinions invalidates your statement. It proves we are logical thinkers because we do not just accept something said from someone else. Unlike your globe model, you guys all just blindly accept it because it says so, therefore it's true. Do you even know what logical thinking means, Daniel?
Because what makes it different from your guys' globe gravity? So yeah, I do agree with Dave. What does it have to do? But still, what has this got to do with the actual argument you presented? Pushing it flat and putting gravity. Flat Earth doesn't push gravity. You guys do. You just debunked yourself also when you said gravity is a force, because you all know gravity is not a force. And if you were a professor, you would know this.
You would, yes, but you would know that it acts like a force, as I said, and you would expect scientifically literate people to get that. So...
as you may have seen in my previous video. But quite comically, most flat earthers don't even do this. Most of you address this problem by simply listing two words: density and buoyancy.
So this is the first thing that Dave is listing that flat earthers all say, and not 2 minutes ago, Flatzoid was literally saying it.
When did I say buoyancy, Daniel? Guys, did you ever hear me say anything buoyancy? I know a lot of flat earthers like to say the word buoyancy, but the thing these guys forget is when the flat earther says buoyancy, remember it's based on the flat earth, not the globe, it is not having gravity attributed to it. So the buoyancy said by a flat earther is simply their understanding that it will float because it's less dense, not because gravity is pushing down on it to push it up. Yeah, that's it. I love how he's also showing his praise to his God. Check there, guys. He's almost squint while he's doing it. He is actually squint there, guys. Check there. Yeah, Squintman Dan. Maybe learn what the argument is instead of creating another straw man. No, buoyancy is the globe argument. Again, globe separate from flat earth. And by the way, your globe is based on a flat plane. Your space so-called fabric is flat plane, and your spheres are lying on that flat plane. Yeah, I know everything about your globe, hence why I'm not a glober. Maybe you should try and learn your globe.
Amazing.
Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but these are not forces.
Yes, they are forces. It's called pressure. Is pressure a force? Last time I checked, pressure is a force. Let's see. What is pressure?
So he's given an answer and now he's Googling to make sure.
No, I've given an answer because I actually know the answer, and I have to show it to people like you who are ignorant fools that don't understand what pressure means. That's why, Daniel. So Scimandan, instead of doing what you do, just make a one-liner statement that's actually not doing anything. I actually give a reason for why I say something. So I go and actually show it to you guys. Yeah, it's very simple stuff. Another super chat. Thank you, PJ Kushank. Wow, the super chats are coming in tonight. You guys are really, really awesome. Thank you, YouTube, for coming as well. He is scientifically literate cosmic surfer, definitely. Sci-Fan Dan and his bowel dolls debunk themselves. Yeah, he does debunk himself. Oh man, I don't know how can this guy be, I don't know, how can he call himself, put science in front of his name if he's so scientific illiterate? He doesn't know the basics of physics, for Pete's sake. He doesn't even know how to differentiate the difference between globe and flat earth. It's insane. Okay, let's quickly look at the polls. 83 votes. Scimandan is scripted. Yes, 78%, and no, 22%. Oh wow, this is going great. Thank you all for being here. Let's carry on going to the actual video. Okay, are you ready? Okay.
His answer is correct. This really is a Mickey Mouse operation, isn't it?
Pressure. Please do concentrate. Continuous physical force. What is density? It's a force. It's pressure. It's the pressure. It's forcing itself down. It's forcing through because the medium cannot support it. There's not enough pressure to hold the object up. There's no force. There's force, but it's not enough to be able to support it. Thus, it comes down.
Word salad of the most exotic variety there from Flatzoid. You see,
word salad, guys. Okay, let's see what he's actual about this, since this is word salad.
There's also not enough pressure to stop it going up, and you keep saying down. Why down?
Why down? Because that's the relative direction where the energy. Remember, I said energy. We picked it up. We put energy into the system. We transferred the energy to the system. As soon as you let go, that energy has to what? Be transferred. Transformed. It's transformed and transferred. Kinetic energy. Potential energy to kinetic energy. It actually has a force to it. Hence the pressure. It has a higher pressure than the surrounding medium. Yeah. So next time someone asks, why up? Why not up? That's why not up. And why down? Because things actually go down. We have directions up, down, left, right, front, back. They're all directions, Dan. We picked the thing from down upwards. That's why down.
Why not sideways? Why not up? You are debunking yourself every time you say the word down.
No, I'm not. You are debunking yourself every time you say why not up, because you're showing yourself to be idiot. you're showing yourself to be an idiot. As simple as that. Things go down because they are denser than the medium around it. You put energy into the system. And again, potential energy does not require gravity. Just because you put gravity in the equation, aka a description based on your belief, does not make it so. We can change that G constant to pressure constant if we want to. It's not going to change the outcomes. Again, globe separate, flat earth separate.
If I had to pick this
I'll
up,
show it to him.
I literally picked it up and put energy into the system. It's got potential energy now.
Yes, gravitational potential energy.
And just like I explained, gravity is globe. I'm explaining flat earth. Gravity does not exist. Do you understand the issue here, Scimandan? Gravity does not exist. So stop pushing globe idiot physics onto flat earth reality. Difference.
There's not enough pressure supporting it down. You understand? It's not going to carry going up because I literally picked it up. I put energy into the system. It's out of its equilibrium. It's relative equilibrium. Now, if I let it go, what's going to happen? I released that energy. It is now transformed into kinetic energy and it has gone down. What happens? It's a force. It accelerated due to pressure.
Utter nonsense.
Wow, brilliant. Brilliant rebuttal. Utter nonsense, guys. Let's see if he's actually going to give a rebuttal why it's utter nonsense. Guys, are you all prepared for this? Let's listen.
If what you are saying is true, then steel ships, no matter what their shape, would sink.
No, that's rubbish. Displacement. Do you even know how Archimedes' principle works, Mr. Science Man? It's the pressure. If the weight of the ship is less than the weight of the pressure pushing it up, it will displace it. But if the weight of the ship is more than the displacement, it will sink. You get it? Pressure mediation. If the pressure of the ship is greater than the displacement, it sinks. If the pressure of the water is greater than the ship's displacement, it will float. Hence why you get huge oil tankers and stuff that can float, because their surface area displaces the water more, displaces that pressure. It's pressure mediation.
Steel is denser than water, yet when shaped like a ship, it doesn't sink. And yes, I do know the reason why it doesn't sink, but I'm hoping they'll argue with this and bring up buoyancy.
Again, buoyancy, globe argument. Relative density disequilibrium, flat earth argument. I'm not bringing up buoyancy because buoyancy is idiotic. It's just a word for hijacking how pressure mediation works. That's all. Again, Archimedes' principle, just because you place a G in the equation, doesn't actually make it a force. It's actually debunking gravity, because gravity is required to be a force for it to work, and gravity is not a force. Oops.
Which involves gravity.
No, it doesn't.
Thank you very much, Professor Nod and Professor Dave. Let's go on. Hope you're all still with me. Busy going to go through and debunk this clown of,
Forces are vectors. They have a magnitude, which means a numerical amount, and a direction, which means they have to point somewhere.
which we just explained in very short terms, which shows this guy doesn't actually have a flipping clue what he's talking about, because if he had any logical thinking, like he said in the beginning, he would not have actually brought it up as a force, because gravity is not a force.
Okay then, genius. What's your magnitude of relative density? What's the numerical amount? What unit is relative density measured in?
Relative density disequilibrium, not relative density. You are, again, pushing specific gravity, globe-based relative density. Yours is simply ones and zeros. Denser or less zero. Less denser, or 1 and a 0, that's all. relative density disequilibrium is not relative density, aka specific gravity. How much more can I make this plain to you? Globe separate, flat earth separate. Stop pushing globe physics onto flat earth. Capish?
Density is simply mass per unit volume, or how much matter sits in a particular space.
Yes, so in other words, density is only one part of relative density disequilibrium. Something he has ignored about, don't you guys understand that?
It doesn't point anywhere. And buoyancy is simply a measurement of an object's tendency to float.
Buoyancy. Would that be pressure? Pressure forcing the object up because it can actually support it?
Let's have a quick look at the equation for buoyancy, shall we? Oh, what's that little G in there, everyone? Let's all say it together. Gravity.
Gravity on the globe model, not on the flat earth model. Got the problem here. Gravity is on the globe model. There's no gravity on the flat earth model. Why do you think I said you guys are doing straw man arguments? Because you are pushing your belief of gravity onto the flat earth. There is no such thing as gravity. You do not even know how to define gravity. You don't know what gravity is. You cannot validate. Heck, you have not even observed gravity to be able to even make a hypothesis for gravity. A thing falling is a thing falling. That was the natural observed phenomena. You did not go and manipulate anything to say the reason for falling. Do you understand the issue? The thing you guys do manipulate when you try is create a lower pressure system, aka in a vacuum. What are you manipulating? The medium. Oh golly me. So actually going against gravity and proving or validating relative density disequilibrium, because you are removing the medium, manipulating the medium to get the desired result. Ouch. So in other words, if you put the object in a denser medium, it will rise. If you put it in a less denser medium, it will sink or fall or whatever, go down. Hence, gravity is actually just relative density disequilibrium, with a belief of gravitational acceleration that's supposedly seen as a force that is not a force. Yeah, I think before we go on, let's look at what the chats are going on. Another super chat. Wow, 10 pounds from Tony Whitcomb. Thank you very much. Yeah, the new law is Darwinism paradox. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. The new law is Darwinism's paradox. Yeah, it's amazing that they push all this stuff on everybody. I don't know how much more clear I can make it to these people. A globe and a flat earth are two separate things. You cannot put the globe physics onto the flat earth and say we have problems with gravity, which is globe physics, on the flat earth. I mean, how much clearer can I explain to them how relative density disequilibrium works, why it's a force, how it works, and they still want to push their absolute BS nonsense that they cannot even validate to put in there. Can't even replicate the Cavendish so-called experiment with the same constant. Exactly, they can't. Sometimes you get more acceleration oscillation, sometimes you get less, sometimes you don't even get the oscillation, sometimes it goes the opposite direction, because it's not an experiment, it's a demonstration of torsion twist due to torque, because the weight of the balls are denser than the medium around it. You put energy into it, now it's hanging and it's causing torsion twist due to the torque. Simple as that. It's a man-made mechanical device, and then they just use it to reify their belief system. Okay, let's try this again. Thank you everybody that has joined now. If you haven't already, just please hit that like button and share. Yeah, okay, let's go on.
Right, I think that's a good place to leave it today. We'll continue with Flatzoids lecture next week. Who knows, we may even go through the whole thing. But for now, we are all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thank you so much for watching. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing.
Yes, please do subscribe to me today. Thanks, guys. And thank you for showing it to your audience, showing that you don't actually bring any rebuttal. You say one-liners that actually do not rebut anything, and then just claim you did something.
To the channel. And of course, if you really enjoyed it, hit that like button as well.
Yeah, thanks. If you really do enjoy it, hit that like button as well. Thank you, Scimandan. Did you guys enjoy that as much as I did? Yeah, so like I'm saying, what have we shown? He doesn't actually have anything. He just literally brings up one-liners like, see what I said? Dunning-Kruger, or that's it. He didn't bring up any rebuttal this whole video. Yet I'm getting trolls from his channel coming and, oh, he wiped the floor of you. You must be so embarrassed. Embarrassed of what? Of a scientifically illiterate moron that cannot even dare to try and debate me or actually give a rebuttal to any of the arguments presented. It's sad. Hey Moomin Rider, thank you for coming. Good to see you. If gravity isn't real, explain why gas goes down, go boom boom. Yeah. Oh man. Sorry, I'll got you here later. I'll have to fill the watch. No, it's fine. So yeah, thank you again everybody for being here. Thank you for all the super chats and the members. It's really great to see that. Wow, it's so good to see the channel actually going. Sorry guys, it just what. I don't know. I can't wait to get my new microphone and webcam. We should be able to order it tomorrow. So I was hoping I could get it this week already, but next weekend I should probably have it. Just waiting for the payment to go through, then I can actually get it. Yeah. So then I'll have a new webcam and microphone. All thanks to your guys' help. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. I'm really ecstatic about the future of this channel. And then obviously after that it's lighting, and I'm gonna hopefully in December time create my studio in the garage again. PJ, at Flatzoids perspective, feel embarrassed for him, not embarrassed by him. Yep, I do not feel embarrassed by any globe defender, to be honest. I feel embarrassed for them. That's why I bring them up. That's why I let them talk their nonsense. So it's I'm busy having fun making videos on the debates I had with Cats and FTFE and McToon, because they didn't realize how they actually spoke themselves into a hole, just like Mr. Scimandan here. So because I'm going to make videos for the 2 weeks that I'm going to be on holiday, I'm not going to be able to do any streams, so I'm definitely going to still bring up premieres for you guys. I will be in chat with those premieres just to make it clear for you. Why is it doing this, please? Doesn't work. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I'll definitely be in chat with that, and I'm still going to try to bring out, because I've got quite a few videos I can make about that. And yes, one of them is about the plasma moon. Sorry Cats. You really talked yourself into that one. Godzilla 37 missed a super chat. Was a sticker anyways, but tried. Oh, sorry, Godzilla 37. I didn't see it. Let me see if I can still see it. Oh, thank you, Godzilla. $2 Scaman Dan. Am I right? Yes, you are right. And $5 super super sticker. Thank you. Yeah, you are definitely right, Godzilla. Thank you very much for that super chat and that super sticker. Sorry, I missed it. I really do apologize. I'm still getting used to this whole super chat thing. You are awesome, and it's so good to see a healthy 50 people in chat. I mean, for such a small channel, I couldn't ask for any better. To me it's really healthy. Thank you again. If anybody's interested, you can come and chat. I do have Gilded open, and I do have Discord open. If you want, I can send the links for the chat. Let's see, I can send the link. If anybody is interested to actually come and chat, you're more than welcome. Just to give your thoughts on Mr. Daniel and his so-called debunking of me, which I didn't see any, but yeah. I understand if you guys can't come in, but it would be great if someone would just like to come in and chat. There we go. The links are in the chat below for you guys. That's a good show out, I think. Yeah. Alright, thank you again for $3 members only. Yeah, it's a members only chat tonight because I thought, let me give the members a bit of a break from the trolls. We're gonna do this at least once a week because it's my gift to all the members and moderators on my channel. You guys are all awesome, and yeah, you guys also deserve just a rest from all the trolls. The trolls can look at from the sidelines and they can make their response videos if they want to. So yeah, members only. Thank you for the super chat, RH. Okay, so is there anybody willing to come and talk? I hope so. The Johnny Man. Refraction is the new gravity, remember? When gravity bent light, what happened to that stupid question? Oh yeah, guys, speaking of refraction, it looks like I might have Brian's Logic coming on Monday to talk about terrestrial refraction. I'm very excited about that because I think it really needs to get explained well to the people on how it actually just changed the radius and not the bending of light. Because all we know, the bending of light requires Snell's law. That's refraction. There's no Snell's law in terrestrial refraction. Owen, I really appreciate you being here as a moderator. I appreciate all the moderators actually. You guys are really awesome. Yeah, FTFE, if you are watching, we are still waiting for your refracted hand demonstration. We haven't seen it. And my hand has to keep on putting this thing in focus. Why? What is going on with you, phone? It must be the light because it is nighttime and yeah, I don't have sufficient lighting. So it looks like I'm holding my hands to the fire to warm up or something. Man. Okay, otherwise we can look for something else to have fun with. I did show that already, I showed that. I mean, while we at it again, maybe we can show Mr. FTFE speaking about this again. Guys, listen up.
So Professor Dave went there knowing exactly what Durf was going to say, or professors and that's why debate's going on about debate me Neil deGrasse Tyson, and that's why Durf thought that he could catch out Professor Dave, right? But luckily for us, Professor Dave watches all my fucking debates and came to me and asked me to prepare him for that debate. So Professor Dave went there knowing exactly what Durf was going to say. And used the knowledge that I gave him, plus the amazing way that he has of explaining things to destroy Dearth in a better way than any of us have ever done. He did
make a couple of cock-ups, though, did Professor Dave, in that?
Yes, he did a couple of cock-ups, even with your script. Oh, man. Did you guys hear that? Yeah, he literally helped him. They gave him the script with the debate. Hey Weiskorf, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Now I appreciate all you guys. So we should do this from now on. Every time we see a global debate, we should show that clip of FTFE throwing them under the bus by showing that they all work together and do the scripts together to debate. And this is for people that are supposed to be highly intelligent and understanding the arguments. And by the way, that debate they had was all based on Flat Earth Society models, not actual Flat Earth. I have the big D and worked on the nuclear submarine. Jolly man. Craig getting very excited about being deceptive. Unbelievable. Yeah. They are proud to be deceptive, guys. That's how they work. Sorry guys, again, I don't know if I should do something else about this. Maybe I should just sit forward, but then it cuts my head off. Oh man. Yeah, so what are we gonna do for the rest of the stream? Because it is about 20 to 10 already. Usually we go on to at least 10 o'clock. tomorrow night, the power's going off at 9 o'clock. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to try and do an earlier stream, maybe 7 o'clock, or maybe I'm going to have to do a stream after 11. Let's take a vote. Should I do a stream after 11, or I'm going to end this poll? Let's see what the poll says. After 110 votes, Scimandan is scripted. 79% yes, 25% no. So yes, we can definitely agree it is. It's scripted. Yes, Wisecorf, thank you for that link. Let's go to that link actually before we go on. Professor Dave admitting everything is scripted for him and he's not an expert in anything. Oh man. Thank you, Wisecorf, for that link. Okay, let's.
Hey everyone, let's now discuss how big of a condescending prick I am. He's the world's most disgusting lying cuck. He's not a professor.
Okay, that is a bit sick there, but I wonder if he's actually talking.
He's already showed me what he plans on presenting.
Okay, that's just a joke. If you guys want to watch this, because I don't really support journalism anymore since he is a lying prick himself. So he doesn't actually have any foot to stand on. Sorry, Wisecorf. I thought it was the one where he was actually talking. Okay, let's put the new poll up. Show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Remember that's CAT, or 11. Oh man, then I'm gonna have a very late night. But I will do it just for you guys. Let me know. Take your vote. Tomorrow night, remember it is a Sunday, so I have to go work on Monday again. I'm up at like 5 o'clock in the mornings, so please take that into account. But yeah, Waskov, I know which one you're talking about. He literally, I mean, why am I saying no? Sorry, okay. Oh, and I forgot to change it to live chat as well. No, yes. Okay, I'm gonna say yes should be 7 o'clock and no would be 11 o'clock, guys. Just to put it to, I should have said sorry. I forgot to actually change that. They are getting worried for any reason. Yes, Tony, they will get worried. Oh, so for 4 votes, yes, I should do it at 7, and yes, I should do it. No, I should do it at 11. Okay, yes at 7, no at 11. Okay, so for 60%. I'm getting there. Thank you. Really appreciate your guys' input. Because maybe I can do 7 or 6:30, but 6:30 might be too tight because you know children. Okay, so yeah, it's looking at 7 o'clock. Then we can go from 7 to 9 tomorrow night. I think we would do that. If that works perfect for you guys, then I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you for your input, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, like I said, I am working on some videos for now the 2 weeks that I'm not going to be able to stream. It's going to actually be quite entertaining, even though it's just going to be a premiere. So if you're not going on holiday, or if you are going on holiday and you still want to just watch, I will be in the chat on the premieres, so definitely do stay tuned for that. Yeah, exciting things coming up next year. Oh yeah, so next week's plan, Monday, Brian's Logic coming to talk, which would be quite cool. FE Pilot hasn't come back to me yet for some odd reason. He was supposed to come last Thursday. RV Truth might come on Thursday evening to chat, so that's very exciting for me. I never ever thought I'd ever get RV Truth on here, so that'd be great if he does. Okay, so we're going to take the poll as yes, I will do it at 7 p.m. Central African time tomorrow night. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the input. Okay. The Jolly Man, yes, they're getting worried. Any informed realist can explain reality and flat smack the average person. 75% of the population will understand. I mean, how much normal globies do you know? I know quite a few, and none of them act like these anti-flat earthers. None of them. Tony, I don't give a F about work. I love truth and not something I have no choice about doing. Yeah, I also rather love truth, but I don't like falling asleep while I'm trying to spray a car. Spray the wrong color on the wrong car or something won't really work well, will it? So yeah, I do at least need my sleep. Not that I get much sleep these days anyway, but yeah. So thank you guys. Like I said, this channel is all about truth, and I'm trying to be as transparent as I can to you guys. So yes, that's it. Do you guys want to actually go through maybe some of that after show then of McToon and them? We can actually go through that if you guys want to just cut some time. Let's see. Okay, I think let's go through some of that video of Mr. McToon's after show, so we can actually see what they were saying. I think we can do that. Okay. This should be fun. They even had Rumpus on, by the way. Okay.
Oh, how sore do you think Flatzoid is?
Oh, poor guy. I mean, yesterday he got kind of a yeah. I mean, that had to hurt. And then today, I was nicer.
Nicer.
Right? I wasn't as brutal, but.
Remember, Katz was triggered and over-talking me, going totally against his character because he had no argument. He totally embarrassed himself. Even the Plasma Moon, guys. Yeah, you might need to stay tuned for that video because it's going to be quite funny. I was actually happy that he got into the Plasma Moon and the energy, the oscillation. Oof. It's nice to play dumb sometimes because then they actually talk themselves into a hole without realizing it because they think they got the edge. This is exactly what I did with Cats and the Plasma Moon, and this is why you got McToon, bless his soul, trying to do orthographic view and not understanding it's not perspective. By the way, McToon actually has been contacting me these last 2 days because of the flask. Remember, I asked him for the flask, he must give me the measurement. I wonder if we can show that. I think I'm going to try to show that that chat with him because it's it's actually funny. Yeah, let's show the chat. Okay, we'll start now. Is it showing? So I'm going to put the chat up for you guys. Okay. McToon, and can you send the details, the video, a link to something? I said, haha, but I first need your answer, otherwise it's what's the use of sending it? Because he literally said, some people have been asking me if I completed the analysis of the 3 photos you had of the thermos. So I said, thought they would, and well, he put it this way, and can you send me the details, the video link or something? I said, haha, but I first need your answer, otherwise what is the use of sending it? Which makes sense, guys, because if I send him it, then he can easily just back engineer it. I can send the answer without data, the distances, the angles. I said you saw on the live stream the distances and the angular measurements. So then I sent it to him. See, there we go. The angled measurements with the distances, just like I showed on the live stream for him. Okay, that's what I was looking for. You used your phone and a Theolodite app, correct? The angles are the angular differences between the top of and the bottom of the thermos, correct? Yep, from the ground to the point shown. That point is that point. You can literally see where it is angled to. Okay. Then he said, what are the strings for? It shows you he doesn't pay attention and actually watched. This was for the so-called Polaris challenge to Mr. Sean Hawkins, which he really embarrassed himself, as usual. To be clear, when pointing at the bottom of the thermos, you measure 0 degrees, obviously. or zeroed the measurement. My theodolite app on the iPhone outputs the complement of the zenith angle. So if the bottom of something isn't perpendicular to zenith, it's non-zero. I've not seen the app you're using, so don't know how it works. You calibrate it to 0. The strings were the reference to Polaris for Sean Hawkins, the whole point of the exercise. So in other words, when you calibrate this app, you stick it down, it calibrates it to 0 degrees, lying like this. You lift it up like this, that's how you get your angular measurements. Okay, he says okay. Then he says, okay, how high is the center of the lens? What's the app you used? I'm a little confused about the usage. If you use the app, if I use the app, it would be clear. I just said, so now do you need to do the height of eye? I'm confused. Did you do the height of eye with anything you calculated when we spoke? Remember, his whole issue was, guys, he doesn't do height of eye. He didn't need to do height of eye. Remember, that's why he added the height of eye later with his triangle, which, very funny stuff. Why is he asking now for the height of eye? I thought you don't need that because orthography already takes perspective into account. Okay, it was on the floor for mine, 0.25 inches up, yes. It's not necessarily, but increases accuracy. So it's not necessary, but increases accuracy. You're not getting the point of this whole exercise, are you? Remember, you're doing it orthographic, is not perspective. That is the whole point. You're drawing a triangle and not having to take anything into account based on three-dimensional reality is your downfall. So now I'm going to give you the height of the lens on the flat surface, and now you must do the derivation to get ground level. Center of the lens was 15.5 centimeters, as I could only use the app in portrait mode. Should be interesting to see the result. Yeah, that was yesterday. Haven't had a response back. So when we do see a result, yeah. Tony Whitcomb, I watched The Sixth Sense last night. I thought it was about the globe, especially when the kid said, I see dead people everywhere. That definitely was about the globe people. That's brilliant, Tony. Brilliant. Oh, man. Ooh, okay. So, do you guys see how he's actually trying to fish for information? I thought he could just work it out like he worked out on his so-called flat earth orthographic placed as perspective. This is showing he cannot. It's very simple stuff. Okay, let's go on with the video.
You played him quite well. The whole bit walking through the Rayleigh criteria was absolutely hilarious. He thinks that 1.225 is to do with the diameter of the human aperture.
No, that's not what I said. Might want to go play it back and actually listen what I said, guys.
Eye, the aperture of the human eye, right? But it's actually just a constant in relation to the size of the sphere and how far it is.
Yeah,
No, you guys are totally misrepresenting me or not understanding what has been said. But we're going to get to that in a video, guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's simply the height of eye. Remember why I said 1.76? Times the square root of the observer's height in meters. The 1.22 would be it in feet. So where 1.76 is for meters, 1.22 would be for feet. Because your eyes are above the ground. Your eyes are not in the ground, it's above the ground. That's why you guys have a so-called horizon on your globe. That tangent you call is to a flat horizontal horizon. Height of eye correction, because you have to take your eyes to the ground to have an accurate reading. Hence why I just read that video, the messages out to you guys.
To the horizon.
This has nothing to do with the Rayleigh criterion. It's and the derivation of this, inside the derivation of this, you find the radius of the Earth.
Yeah.
So, by saying this, you just conceded that the radius of the Earth is derived from perspective. Nom nom. Yeah, guys, do you get that? This is what I said. This is epic. They do not understand. They have talked themselves into a hole that they cannot get out. He just said this. You derive the globe from this perspective. It's a perspective measurement. Oh, so not physical curve then, optical. Can they make it any worse for them?
But and he kept. I was watching his chat, right, and he kept being commenting on.
I see I got another super chat. Hey, thank you, Faciality. Thank you for $5 super chat. Really, really do appreciate you. Hey, Flatzo, got a super cool video premiering tomorrow. Flat out guarantees. Hope everyone can make it. Yeah, guys, shout out to Faciality. He's got a video premiering tomorrow. If you can, Faciality, stick the link in the description. If it's already out for premiere, then the people can go and watch it. I will definitely be there to watch it. 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure what that is in my time, but if it is on when I'm awake, I will definitely go and watch it. Otherwise, afterwards. So yeah, guys, really, really do go watch Faciality. He's got some awesome editing skills with his videos. I really think he's got an awesome growing channel. So yeah, like we said, McToon, when you just said that 1.22 you can derive the globe, you just conceded that the Earth is based from perspective. Yes, angular measurement to the ground from your eye in optical three-dimensional reality. And that's the whole argument over actually for the globe. They derive it on a flat plane, they measure it from a flat plane, and this debunks his whole argument for the sextant challenge too, because he just showed it's derived from flat. So not globe first to flat, it's flat then globe.
Oh, I'm getting MC Toon to say such stupid things.
Like you just did, yes. You guys walk into these things so easy it's not even funny, with the help of each other, I might add.
Like, he genuinely thought that he was winning that debate.
Again, debates aren't about winning. Debates is about getting your argument across. There's no such thing as winning a debate. There is, however, getting you guys to say very idiotic stuff and make you think you are actually winning somehow because you're too dumb to understand. Your idiotic stuff debunks your own argument. Hence why I did these debates. Thank you again.
Oh, that's precious.
It's adorable, isn't it? It really is absolutely adorable.
It is. But it's the kind of adorable that he should keep doing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Rumpus, are you there?
Hey, the Rumpus.
It shows that your mic's working, but we're getting no audio from you, bud. Look at the size of that mason jar.
Give me a second.
Wow.
Alright, I've got a bone to pick with you though, Toon.
Okay,
okay. I don't care what it's like over there in the colonies, but it's Z, not Z. Alright?
So yeah, okay, thanks. 60-minute duration. I have to wait for it to upload in 4K before I can release the premiere time. Okay, no bad. As soon as it shows, I'll also share it on my channel. It's definitely well worth it to go watch his stuff, guys. Well worth it. I hope it's showing. Okay, it is showing. Let's carry on, you guys.
Colonies.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
What do you want to fight about it?
So now they have to talk about the way they pronounce Z's. Brilliant. That's such a great after show about you just getting demolished by your own argument. Yeah, Rumpus is coming in. Let's just listen what Rumpus has to say.
You're not the boss of us. And yes, we already did have a little fight about it.
We don't talk about the T-words.
If I recall... We kicked your butt.
We
and
let
then
you
tried
think
to
that.
do it again
Yeah, where's
in
Rumpus?
1812, and we kicked your butt again.
Well, fucking suck.
Yeah, that's,
I did wrong.
yeah, it's bloody annoying things. Yeah, great. Oh, I thought Toon, you did well there. I must admit, you've got a habit of doing this. I must admit, but I quite like it.
Yeah, Mr. Rumpus, the biggest liar of them all. It's a pleasure, Face Reality. You really do have awesome stuff, and I'm definitely here if I can promote people's stuff. Oh, guys, Weisskopf has made a few great videos recently about the dome and stuff, which is really great. If you guys haven't watched already, do go and watch it as well. Weisskopf, maybe stick your links for that dome presentations in. It's quite cool. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so let's carry on listening to the stupid.
Draw out these poor people to spend about an hour going over something, and then when he did that bloody Rayleigh criterion, he gave her that formula and then said distance was d. I thought that was the...
I did that for a reason, because didn't you see I tried to lead him into the angle distance? It's obviously diameter. Remember, I even sent him the link of the presentation I did on the Rayleigh criterion. I've been speaking about this for kind of a few years already, so I already knew D was the diameter of the aperture. I was just trying to lead him into something. You know what I say when I say we try and make him, I say a stupid thing so they can lead them to think they have something. It's a kind of a tactic to throw people off guard. That's how it works. It's psychology. They think now, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, so let's actually go and talk about it. I get him into talking about it. We end up with him showing me distance changes the angle, which he denied. Yeah, but like I said, these will definitely be in those Premier Ring videos.
That was the highlight, I thought. Just couldn't take it.
No, just I've got two monitors in front of me and one to the side, and on the the one on the left I had Toon Stream, and the one in front of me I had Flatzoids Stream.
Yeah.
So I was watching both the chats at the same time, and most of his chat is obviously Globers anyway, which is clear by the results of the polls, right?
Yeah, usually the trolls and the sock accounts, because that's what happens when people come to Flat Earth stuff. Why? It's because you guys are insecure about your religious belief. That's why. Weisskopf, just some theories, but check it out on my channel. Yeah, it's really well done, Weisskopf. That's why I said so. Do stick the link in the chat for the guys. Definitely well worth going to watch it.
But the ones that are clearly flat earthers were like, yeah, Flatzoid, you're destroying him. Ha, stupid MC Toon.
Yeah, because they actually get what the issue was. They understood what was going on. If you got 2 brain cells, more than a tuna sandwich, you know, thanks Sean Hawkins, like you have a tuna sandwich. If you got more than 2 brain cells, you would understand what was going on. Hence, everybody in my chat understood what was going on. They knew I was setting a trap for Mr. McClownface. Yeah. Plato's perspective, I take it back. I don't miss the Rumpus, dumbass. Well, let's put it this way. Rumpus likes to... what I like about the Rumpus is he would tell these guys when they're wrong. And he's done that a few times. Especially this guy with refraction that time. When he, remember after he complained about his hand refraction, Rumpus actually told him he's wrong. Straight to him. So that's one thing I do like about Rumpus. He'll tell them they're wrong.
You know, like Iron Horse in there, and our friend Wojciech, what's his name? The one that thinks he's done your challenge. He was.
I think they're talking to you, Weisskopf.
In there calling you a clown and all sorts.
Oh, Weisskopf?
You Weisskopf, that's the guy.
Oh, guys, by the way, McToon, while we got this on, you might want to look what the projection means on the Gleason's map. It's a topographical projection. It's not a globe projection. Azimuth is not a globe projection. Weisskopf, we might have to explain that to him. The azimuthal projection is circle flat based. Yeah, it's not globe based. But he has to move the globe posts the goalpost to say it's glow projection just because it says projection on the map. Yeah, but that's also for another video, guys. So sorry, I can't really show that in much detail right now, but it's very, very funny. Godzilla 37. If you look up disingenuous in the dictionary, it reads anti-flat earther. That's a good one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Blam Leaky thought you'd done your challenge.
No, just recently, this week, Weiskopf thinks he did it.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be covering that on Tuesday for my stream number 3 on Tuesday. I got 2 debates, and then I'm going to...
It wasn't really much of a debate. He had, what was it? I am Daniel or something on there the first time. He just didn't let him really talk, and then he actually booted him by claiming he's a Poe. He just claimed it. He just makes him out as a Poe. That's his reason, so he just booted him off the stream. The second guy, I think it was Adam or something. You could see he wasn't really in this kind of arena very long, although he claims to have been in the Flat Earth for long and haven't been in for years, which I don't really understand. But how he was trying to explain to McToon, just like I was, when you rise in altitude, the field of view gets pushed out further, so it gives an optical effect of the horizon rising relative to eye level. Obviously he didn't say relative. This is something the guys would really start learning. It's relative to eye level, not to eye level. So yeah, but that was and then obviously then after he did Weiskopf's thing by showing what a prick he really is, because yeah, I really didn't like the way he was handling this as well. It was actually sick. Yeah, you show the difference and balance between the two in your reply. That's what he ignores, Weiskopf. He ignores it. He literally sees projection, azimuthal projection, on the Gleason's map, and he says that means glow projection. Does he actually know the difference? Or is he just dishonest? Very simple.
To cover his challenge. Oh, I could be extremely brutal. I could just
Oh God, I've been
absolutely
thinking about what you can say to him.
massacre him.
Because he keeps going, oh no, it's done flat, it's done flat, but he doesn't understand that everything he's doing is based on a transformation from a globe.
No, it's done with the transformation of the lights in the sky based on positions and observations with cycles. That's what astrology is. It doesn't simply require the globe. He made it geocentric, hence not heliocentric. That's why he moved the nodes to the center. Just because the so-called calculations of that geocentric hold the same calculations as the heliocentric with the distances does not make it a globe. Remember, you guys are trying to push a heliocentric globe with celestial navigation, not a geocentric globe. The geocentric globe is actually just a spherical transformation of the flat topographical projection. That's all it is. So yes, he moved the goalposts, literally. That's all he did.
He doesn't understand coordinate transforms. He thinks that if you do a coordinate transform...
Yeah, when you did your coordinate transform, you do know you explained coordinate transform on a flat base. Oh, wow. Yeah, guys, he does. Maybe we should look up what coordinate transform is. Then you would actually understand why it's not globe. Jeff Gassett, thank you for being here. These anti-flat earthers are just scum. Yeah. I don't have any other words we can actually put to these guys.
Form from a rectangular three-dimensional coordinate system to any other coordinate system that makes the Earth flat, he thinks, somehow.
It's maths, isn't it? It's maths,
Yeah.
it's 3D, and it's not happening underneath their bed in their bedroom. They just don't believe it's
Tony Whitcomb, £10 super chat. Wow. It doesn't matter what baller assumptions make. They need an R value whether celestial or ground-based, and they can't show it in real time. Yes, exactly. Thank you for the super chat. They cannot have an R-based anything because their radius is based on refraction. It's based on optical. So what came first? The refraction, changing the radius because it's terrestrial, it's not actual refraction, or the radius? Because if you're claiming the radius came from that, or that came from the radius, as Arwen says, the Arwen paradox, which came first? You can't have one without the other. When did you measure it? Was there a day without refraction when you measured it, or was there, or I don't know, how do you derive a radius without actually having done it optically? How? Really odd.
It's real. They've got to encounter. They can only use their normal, everyday sort of feel for things. They can't abstract. They can't use mass. They don't understand dimensions, and they certainly don't understand coordinate.
No, Rumpus. Just because you say these things doesn't mean we don't understand it. Like I said, we've been showing you guys don't actually understand it, or you are very delusional in thinking that we do not understand it. Because when you say these things, you're trying to sound clever. It doesn't work. You're putting yourself into a box, into a hole without realizing it. We definitely understand the differences with dimensions. The problem is you guys don't. Hence why he came with orthographic view, claiming it to be perspective. Also note, remember guys, how he came and tried to strawman me by saying I said he did it wrong, so I'm going to teach him how to do it in perspective. No, he cannot even bring up that whole chat thread. There was a whole chat thread with over 65 people. Why all of a sudden was it just gone when this live stream was up? Really odd, because it wouldn't have stayed there for so long with so much replies if it wasn't taken down. So there had to be a reason for that, because he couldn't even give me a screenshot of me saying that it can be done in perspective. No one claims you can actually do it how you want to in perspective view, because it changes constantly. It's an optical phenomena that changes constantly. Hence, your so-called derivations for Earth curve is based on perspective. And that's why it's so incompatible with reality, because it keeps changing, because it's literally an accumulation based on three-dimensional observations. Hence why your radius is bigger or smaller based on those optical measurements. Yes, very simple.
Transformations, they don't understand spherical coordinates, they don't understand polar coordinates. I mean, it just goes on. I mean, Flatzoid is one of the worst. I mean, you see, the thing is, he's an adult, and when you say something like...
sad.
Oh, check that. It goes like this. Yes, I'm definitely an adult. Yeah, okay. I would say I'm more of an adult than these guys, but let's go on.
Can you please explain... This is a simple argumented point. You asked him to explain his point of view, that you were doing it wrong, and you said, okay, now demonstrate to me how it's doing it wrong. Now, that's something that any adult...
Again, Rumpus, I said to him, he's not wrong on these orthographic calculations. I did say that a few times, did I not? The child here could not accept me saying, yes, you did your calculations right, but it's not perspective. That is it. Orthographic calculations are not perspective. I even led him by asking, how did you take convergence into account, or parallax, or anything? And yes, you do have parallax when you look out into the distance, like taking the angle measurements to a star or a sun or whatever, because it's moving. It's moving. That makes it two different observational points. Yes, do you understand that? Because it moves, so it's parallax. people.
Unless they're being... I mean, I don't tend to like calling people dishonest, but when it's something as so crystal clear as that, where you say, you're telling me I've got it wrong, please tell me how I've got it wrong.
Again, I never said he got it wrong. I said he did it right. I said he didn't have perspective. Don't let McToon get you. He works for Cartoon Network. He does, but no, I don't let him get to me. I just enjoy showing how dishonest these clowns are, that's all.
And I love the way you kept on hammering, because that's exactly what I would do. So as far as I'm concerned, that was brilliant. And you didn't give any mercy, but he was clearly trying to evade something that's a simple piece of English that you could communicate that any...
Thank you for the super chat, PJ Cruikshank, £2. Wow. They really have selective hearing. They don't listen. Exactly, they don't listen. This is the cognitive pain that we talk about. It comes here and just doesn't even go through there. It literally just bounces back the other way. Even things that's why we got that funny triangle where Drew is still trying to do the height of eye correction underneath the already figured out triangle. It's sad. These clowns are obsessed with self and sci-fi toys all over their rooms. Very adult. Yeah, it's very adult. I mean, look at that. God. That's very adult having... I mean, I even saw him do how much live shows building these rockets and stuff for everybody. That's very grown up.
Teenager would understand you're asking them to do, and he just tried to evade and evade and deflect and evade and deflect and evade, and trying to get that onus of burden off him to do something.
There was no burden on me. The burden of proof was on this guy. I was saying that over and over. He was the claim. He made the claim based on the flat earth. He used perspective and then gave distances and heights based on his claim of perspective. I told him you did not use perspective, you used orthographic calculations. Now your orthographic calculations are not correct, but how did you do perspective? Because you did not do it. In other words, he has the positive claim as he made the claim that he used perspective to do the calculations. Capish? My 7-year-old daughter understands this simple fact.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't, and I thought at one point you should have just said, look, come on, why don't you just admit you don't know how to do any of this maths, mate? I thought towards the end, I mean, obviously you enjoyed...
Godzilla, you're an adult streaming from your couch. How does that not make you an adult, Godzilla? Yes, I'm streaming from my couch because I cannot actually do it in my garage at the moment as a studio. That's why it's on my couch. But how does that not make me a adult, Godzilla? Please do reiterate that for us.
You're stretching them out and teasing them and just on a rack almost, and then but ultimately you could have ended it with sort of, now come on, Flatzoid, just be honest here. You've no idea how to do any of this, and the only thing you can do is criticise what I'm doing.
No, Rumpus. This is why we all laugh at the Rumpus. He actually believes this bullshit coming out of his mouth. Yes, I understand it. Remember, I actually studied art. I literally went and wrote an exam for 6 hours to get into a very highly acclaimed art school to study art. I think I know perspective. By the way, it's the same school that Charlize Theron went and did her drama study. Oh. So it's not just some little, how can I put it, off the road school. It's an actual proper institution. Yeah. They don't just accept anybody. Just by like believing in Star Trek and Star Wars, yeah. You joked about him being an adult with toys behind him. Yes, toys associated with children. How is a couch associated with children, Godzilla? I mean, really?
Just say that. Be honest for once. 11 frames. And
I love to bring 11 frames up. Remember, guys, when you bring that up, you concede the horizon is not physical, optical. You guys are even too ignorant to understand that simple fact.
I couldn't stop laughing, Rumpus. I couldn't stop laughing when he was going on about how the square root of the observer's height times 1.225, and as soon as he brought it up, he's like, "This is the Rayleigh criteria."
I didn't say this is the Rayleigh criteria. I said, have you heard of the Rayleigh criteria? I said, diffraction limit. Hence the horizon limit. That's the diffraction, that's the criteria, not the 1.22. That was me leading you guys into getting how you just said, remember you derive your globe from that? Ow. Gary Wybinger, elevation angles to Polaris or the sun when measured with the sextant are simple perspective angles from the observer's field of view. Exactly, Gary Wybinger. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. This is really fun. Yeah, the 11 frames, they really need to change that record. Yeah, because sometimes it's 13 frames, sometimes it's 4 frames. Heck, I've even had 25 frames thrown at me. Really funny stuff. What does streaming from a couch have to do with AIDS? Exactly, Alan. I'm asking the same thing. Adults do live streams on a professional platform from a slightly better area in my argument. So what has that got to do with person's age, Godzilla? Remember, you made a claim that it's childish by doing it on a couch. So is T-Jump also a child now because he does it on that ugly couch of his? Remember, weird looking couch? T-Jump does it also on a couch. So he's a child in your opinion then? Cool. And there's a reason why I'm doing it where I am. I used to do it in the garage if you watched my earlier streams, but unfortunately it's just not possible for me at this moment because I'm using my television in the lounge and the Ethernet cable is not long enough to go to the garage yet. But like I said, December I'm really hoping to be able to turn my garage into a studio and actually have a proper setup there. So I will get there. Yeah, EQ mounts cannot accurately track anything across the sky at 15 degrees an hour from the horizon to horizon. They fail as an object means. Yeah, Gary Wybinger, it's simple. An EQ mount. Let's say this is your EQ mount. It's literally mechanical. So it's moving across your elliptical plane at 15 degrees an hour. You can set it to this way, it doesn't matter. It just does a mechanical elliptical orbit at 15 degrees an hour until it gets to the same point. You can make it point in any direction you want. It will come to the start, to the end, to the starting point at the same time because it's set to that elliptical orbit. It's not tracking anything. It's just simply following a mechanical set. That's all. Yeah. Don't like this Godzilla. Guy, every time Flatzoid addresses him, I hear my name. Yeah, Godzilla 3700. He's Godzilla, you Godzilla. But it's difficult. I think, I don't know. I don't know which one should I. I'm going to say, oh man, yeah, this makes it difficult, Godzilla. Should I just call you Zilla 37 and him just Godzilla? I don't know. It makes it difficult, sorry. Shouldn't have stolen my name. I think Godzilla had it first, by the way. I know what Godzilla is saying. The difference between having your beliefs surrounding yourself and Flatzoid having none of that. Godzilla is on point. Yeah. Derek Nelson, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you being here. I don't care when the platform is taking place from. What matters is if the person qualifies as an adult and is mature. Not those who descend into strawman arguments. Yeah, I mean, all they do is have strawman arguments. They don't even understand their own arguments they present in the first instance. That's why you get him loving to say gaslight, where he doesn't even understand what gaslight means. It's, yeah.
And the reason he says that is because the 1.22 is what like the average aperture of the human pupil is, and so therefore, right? And then.
Yeah, you cannot use trick to measure things in the sky if you can't see their GP. To measure your baseline to because of FL view. Perspective compression with the increased distance from the GP. From the go. Exactly, Gary. You use your eyes. You're measuring an angle to something you see. It's got a line of sight in a three-dimensional reality. Remember, I showed how with distance it compresses into the convergence, and that's why it seems to be dropping. That's why with every single apparent angular measurement you make, it has a different apparent altitude. It's not because it's literally dropping, it's because it's an apparent altitude. It's why it gives the field of view dome, the celestial dome, the celestial sky. Do these guys actually realize that when you do celestial navigation and you're looking in the sky, you only have a 180 degree circle of equal altitude with the celestial dome above you? Them adding another part, just duplicating it because of belief to the bottom, is making a biased decision now that it's a globe. You don't see that. It doesn't exist. They literally just in their mind placing it, gluing two halves together to make a globe. And it was based and derived from the equatorial plane. Equatorial plane is a flat horizontal circle. I don't understand. If you just bring up elevation angles in equatorial plane, you have debunked your globe. Full stop. It's very simple stuff. The geometry of vision is the globe's imaginary curve. Exactly, and that's what he had to concede now in the beginning of the stream, because he literally said they derive the globe from the 1.22. Exactly. They need a 90 degree for an angle. Can't have that on a ball, no matter how big Earth is. Exactly. 90 degrees, guys, requires there to be a 180 first. I wonder if I can draw this out. I'm gonna see if I can draw this out for you guys. This is like so simple stuff. Let's just do this. 180 degree line. Images. Yeah, there we go. This should work. Okay. I hope it's showing. Okay, it's showing. You see this, guys? This is the baseline. This would be the equatorial plane. It's a 180 degrees. Why is it a 180 degrees? Because this point here is 90 upwards. So it's the center of that line. There's the baseline start, baseline start. So it's the circumference around the azimuth. You understand? This azimuth, you see? Makes a 360 degree circle around. So if you're standing here on the 180 degree mark, because it's a flat line, you are looking out that way. That means there is no longer this in your field of view. It's to your back. The 90 degrees now is upwards. So what is 90 plus 90? You understand? It's a 180 minus a 90, which gives you your 90 degrees. That's why that from there to there, when you have a 90, becomes 0 degrees, because your baseline is 180 degrees. You're having an open base to create a triangle. You see? So when it's there, it shows 45 degrees, 135 degrees as the co-altitude angle. But because you only have a 90 degrees for elevation angles, you do not have that. It's literally just what's forward of you. So 45 degree and the co-altitude would be 45 degree. This is all based in three-dimensional space observation. You cannot have this without a straight line, because it's always a sum of 180 degrees. Every single time has to have a sum of 180 degrees. So every time you say celestial navigation from a globe, it's just showing you ignoring geometry. Simple as that. Tony Whitcomb, they need a 90 degree, exactly. Flatzoids perspective. For a vertical, you gotta have a horizontal. Makes sense, exactly. What does plumb mean? Plumb to what? So as soon as you say a plumb bob, it's in reference to something. What does plumb refer to? In construction carpentry, the term plumb refers to the line or feature that is perfectly vertical. The technical design represents an imaginary line that runs straight to the center of the earth. Plumb is counterpart to level, which means to perfectly horizontal. You cannot have plumb if it's not a reference to horizontal, because that's what plumb means. It's a perfect vertical perpendicular to perfect horizontal, a 90-degree angle. Like I just explained to you, 90 degrees require a 180 to start off with. No 180, no 90 degree. Very, very simple stuff. Guys, I think that's all for tonight. If you want me to carry on this thing, I can do it. Let me know. Do you want me to carry on with this thing tomorrow night or something? Well, tomorrow night actually I got DP coming on. He's got some awesome observations and stuff that we want to talk about, so I'm definitely going to talk about that tomorrow night. So yeah, maybe I can do another video on this. Let me know what you think. If an aeroplane don't dip its nose 2 miles every minute, then it's deemed as flat. Plumb is only plumb to horizontal. Exactly. No horizontal, there's no plumb. You first require the 180 degree before you can have the 90. That's why the sum, interior sum, is always 180 degrees. A plumb bob needs a horizontal. It implies it. Kui was debating this recently. You can't use celestial navigation in true space because there is no horizontal. Yeah, like I said, to have a 90 degree, you first need the existence of a 180 degrees. So the antecedent of a 90 is 180 degrees. Simple as that. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please just do hit that like button and share. Really appreciate you guys coming. You guys are really, really awesome. So I'll do the show tomorrow. Wow, must I really do it 11 o'clock tomorrow night, guys? Because most of the people are saying 11 o'clock. Oh man. So I'm not going to sleep tomorrow night. That's what you guys tell me. Okay. So guys, tomorrow night we'll do it at 11 o'clock Central African time. But then I'm not going to have a very long show. It's probably only going to be about an hour till about 12 or 12:30. Okay, guys? Because, wow, if it was 7 o'clock, it will only be 2 hours. But if it is 11 o'clock tomorrow night, I think an hour to an hour and a half. Just to be fair. Okay, guys? I'm very happy you guys came. Thank you all for being here. So I'll do the show tomorrow night, 11 o'clock Central African time. Well, that is if DP can make it that time. Otherwise, we'll have to reschedule with DP for another time. But yeah, thank you guys for all the members that's joined. Thank you for all the super chats. Wow, this has been hectic. A lot of super chats. Thank you for all the people being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it as relaxing as I did having a members only chat tonight. You guys are really, really awesome. Really do appreciate all your support. See you guys tomorrow night, 11 o'clock Central African time. Till then, God bless.